So this video aims to provoke a little bit all the information that we find these days about compatibility, which at times I agree with, other times I don't fully agree with, because we are all pretty much incompatible. And the reason why we are incompatible is because we are different people with different values, with different backgrounds. They have grown up in different environments with different beliefs and family history. Starting from the very basic knowledge that there's nobody like me and nobody can live inside me either. What I found when it comes to relationship, and not just romantic relationship, because compatibility, it also exists in friendship and the circle of people you surround yourself with within your family, and of course romantic relationship. We are all incompatible basically, because we have to work together to be together, and which means we have to start compromising if we want to share even ground when it comes to our relationship. When I say even ground, it means to finding a flow, to find a balance that is fair for both people within the relationship without overlapping or trying to impose our traits to the other. The very first thing that I believe is essential nowadays before moving into a relationship is to have self-knowledge and to be very honest about who you are. What makes somebody lovable to me is authenticity, somebody that is authentic, raw, genuine, and with a willingness to expose all the parts of themselves, positive, negative, in the middle, whatever that is. One of the obstacles I found in my personal life, but also while working with people, is that within the relationship, often only one person is willing to do the work. When I say to do the work, it means to start questioning the status quo of who they are and who they are within the relationship. Because, of course, when you're putting yourself out there, you're exposing yourself. So you are discovering things on a daily basis about, you know, your reaction, the things you like, you dislike, and what the other person does, doesn't do. Sharing spaces, tools, things, values is a big one that you didn't know before. So of course you have to sit down and start learning about yourself within a relationship, and then you have to learn about that person and that person within the relationship. So it's quite complicated. Often what happens is within relationship, we start blaming each other. When something goes wrong, one person is right, one person is wrong, he's doing this, she's doing that. Of course, you want to make sure you have the same values. You want to make sure you have something in common with the person you are with. You want to make sure you have a plan. Some people don't like it, but you do need a plan. You do need to find that direction that, of course, is flexible, that you want to go with that person, whatever direction it is. Some people say, oh, you should love me for who I am, just accept me for who I am. Nobody has to accept anything. If you want to be with other people, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, compromise things, have curiosity, do things that make you uncomfortable at times. You have to have a willingness to try new things. And then, of course, you have to love them enough at times to overcome your own resistances, your own blockages, your own obstacles. Being with somebody is an adventure. It's not about sitting on a sofa and watching the TV. Maybe in the past, I think we want more than that. We want partnership. We want somebody that will be there, but also have their own life. They have their own personal dreams, and then they have things that they share with us. That requires a huge amount of curiosity to keep that engagement alive, to keep the energy moving, to keep the dynamism, that willingness to grow together. I don't want to sit with a person that has a lot of great concepts, but is not willing to take any risks in life. invest in a relationship is a risk. It's like the stock market. You invest the money, perhaps you get more, perhaps you get less, you don't know. But you have to take that risk. Otherwise, you'll never know. There are basics that you need to have in common. But if one person or both people within a relationship are not willing to be humble enough to sit down and admit at times their limits, even to say, I'm struggling with this. I'm not sure what it is that I'm doing wrong. Please tell me, talk to me. Tell me what is it that's bothering you about me. And then on the other side, there has to be somebody that is willing to express without criticism. What is it that they feel challenged from? And this is every single relationship you may have. Otherwise, we keep moving on to another person, and you think you're going to find somebody that magically is going to meet all your needs and is going to be this compatible human being that's not going to challenge you at all. If that was the case, we will be at peace with the person we are. The very first relationship you have is with yourself, and you know how complicated that is, how many challenges you go through because of that relationship, how hard it is at times to understand yourself, to make space for your feeling. So because of that, when you do the same thing with somebody else, it's even harder. You have to put a lot of effort and work. You need to have a lot of capacity, willingness to embrace whatever comes your way with an humble attitude, not with a finger pointed on the other side saying it's your fault, it's because of you. You have to work on yourself and understand who you are so you can express that, you can explain that. And on the other side, you also have to have a willingness to listen, to understand the history, the story of the person in front of you. You need to be curious about the person you are with, understand their reactions, where they come from, understanding why you may be a trigger for them, or why the other person is triggering you so hard. You have to work together to get to whatever place you want to get, with complicity, having each other's back, not against each other. And it's not about being compatible at times. It's about being curious and humble and present and there for each other. But if on the other side, you have a feeling that the person is not interested in growing, is not interested in challenging themselves enough, they're not investing in themselves, they're not investing in the relationship, their values are completely off track compared to yours, then maybe it's time to move on. But don't get sold in the illusion that compatibility is everything, because it's not. Look for somebody that wants to invest in a relationship, that's willing to do whatever it takes to be with you, but also to be with themselves, that doesn't give up on you, that sits with you when time is hard, that talks to you, they are humble enough to admit their mistakes, somebody that can go beyond the behaviors, beyond the words, that has compassion, that is curious about who you are. And then that gives you space to grow. And you, of course, making space for the other person to grow. So this is just my experience and advice. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you taking the time, and please subscribe to my channel. It really helps my work and spread the love. Thank you.